What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Truzz the Bank podcast. It's been a while. So, Joshua, why don't you hit everyone with a little bit of an intro and tell everyone how you're doing today?
Man, what's going on, TTB family? Is like McConnell said, man, it's been a long time, since we did an episode. But listen, the off season's been it's been tiresome. Ain't nothing been going on. But hey, we in the middle. We close to the middle of July. We about to get ready to get back into the groove of things. And y'all know what to do, man. Make sure y'all subbing up. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, comment, share with your friend, and even share with your aunt and uncle, man, because this is about to be a good episode, man. We talked about some cut candidates for the Ravens, who's going to be Lamar's go-to receiver, and is this going to be a new era for the Ravens? So, McCall, let's get into it, man.
Yeah, and I just want to hope everyone that attempted to was able to receive their training camp tickets. Some of us were less fortunate. Everyone send a prayer for Joshua.
Shout out to SeatGeek. Shout out to SeatGeek for being the company that they are. So much rebuffing room is so crazy, man.
Yeah, it's just like, I don't know, the way that the whole thing goes, free tickets and then everyone just resells them. It's just kind of a little bit weird to me, but it's almost training camp time. That's when we finally get back into, like, this is the most, it's the most dead era of the football season. There's nothing happening. You see people, like NFL media people are tweeting about Josh Allen and his girlfriend, Haley Steinfeld, not Steinfeld. And it's like, okay, let's get something going. Like, let's get some news happening.
Yeah.
But generally in this type of the offseason, no news is good news, right? But that also means very little to talk about, which has been difficult. But you know what? We're powering through. We got some good topics today. Shout out to the people on the YouTube community section that we asked about it. But, one of the first kind of ideas, this wasn't the direct question. We'll talk about this definitely another time. But the original question was kind of like, what are some players the Ravens could sign that potentially get cut by other teams? And that one, I do want to pull up who said that, but we ended up transitioning it over to who are some Ravens that could potentially get cut. And this one came from Ramsey 002. So, thank you for that. I'm sorry. I read the wrong question. Ramsey 002 asked about fantasy football, but we already talked about that. It was from Jonathan Jones. Jonathan Jones always asking good questions. But Joshua, if you're looking at this Ravens roster, obviously there's potential for additions, going after receiver, maybe, DB, maybe edge rusher, whatever it is. We got a lot of players. Who are some guys that are borderline cut candidates that may or may not make the team that are sticking out to you?
Man, as I constantly look at this depth chart, I think we have to start with the wide receiver room. I know we wanted to improve the wide receiver room. I know we had some guys that we really was hoping for and rooting for to be, those emerging presence on the offensive side of the ball. But I'm gonna have to go with my number one guy that I really wish that made a name for himself here in Baltimore. But I feel like he needs a refresh, restart, and a better opportunity, and that's going to be Mr. James Prochet II. Honestly, man, he has a great work ethic. When we heard about, his accolades and what he did in college, and between him and Devin Duvernay, there was only between 3 to 4 drop balls out of the both of them in their college career. And now you see, him in the NFL, he has moments, but it's like he's just getting thrown in the fire. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's worked for him. And honestly, with everything they've been doing, how they've been recouping the wide receiver room, I feel like it's time for him to go somewhere else and possibly be that number 2 or slot receiver consistently. I think he will be a good fit for oh my goodness, what's his name? Daniel Jones in New York. In New York, I don't like New York Giants, of course, but hey, if I'm going to send one of my guys away, I feel like he'll have the best opportunity there. So that would be one of my first cut candidates.
Yeah, I think James Prochet is an interesting one. You look at the wide receiver position. It looks like there's about 9 players fighting for 2, maybe 3 spots at the back end of that roster, right? Yeah. You've got, I think we have the known, which is Flowers, Bateman, Odell, Duvernay, Aguilar. Yeah. After that, it's Prochet, Treadwell, Mike Thomas, he's injured right now. So he's not gonna be able to make it. Tylen Wallace, Shamar Bridges, Tariq Black, Andy Isabella, Sean Ryan, and a lot of people's favorite, Dante Demas, Jr.
Yeah.
Those guys are all fighting for maybe 2 or 3 spots. So any one of those guys could end up getting cut. Obviously we wish the best for all of them. But James Prochet has been here a few years. He hasn't been able to take a step in the receiving end. Special teams, he has participated in it, so that he does add that value. But it's going to be a tough battle for him. The benefit he has, I think, like as the training camp warrior, nobody gets more hype in training camp than James Prochet. Day in, day out. It's always like James Prochet, more acrobatic catches, and it was always like, but Greg Roman will never use him. Maybe Todd Monken, maybe he'll be able to figure out what to do with him. My guy that I kind of want to bring up is Brent Urban. And I really like Brent Urban. I think he's on a good contract. I don't think that would be the reason why. But, this defense, we're going to have to cut some people. And Brent Urban isn't somebody that I'm looking at as, okay, we need to have him. Is he valuable for special teams? Yes. Is he valuable as a depth veteran? Yes. But, we have Michael Pierce, who, if the Ravens are willing to keep that salary, Michael Pierce, Matt Abike, Travis Jones, Broderick Washington as well. All is 4 just interior defensive linemen right there. And then on the edge, they have plenty of other guys as well that can play there. So it's just like, which interior defensive lineman are you going to take? Which 3 tech are you going to keep? Because we can't keep 6. And Brent Urban, he doesn't have the upside. He has the stability. And I like that. I also feel like if he was cut, he wouldn't be picked up by another team. And so, the Ravens a lot of times do that where they cut a guy, they throw some guys on IR, and then after he clears waivers, they re-sign him back to the team. Brent Urban, I could 100% seeing that happen with, but he may not be on the roster for a little bit, in the month of August.
Yeah, man. I could definitely respect that. Like we talked about, man. Michael Pierce, he still is, a homegrown Raven. So I know they're not going to want to give up on that guy just that quick. He's coming back from an injury. He was there at OTAs, I believe. So he's showing that leadership ability around those younger guys for the Justin Metabikes. Shout out to Broderick Washington and his clip today. He's working hard. He's in his this is his contract year as well. Sheesh. Oh man. So and even Travis Jones. Travis Jones was a big steal for us in the previous draft year. So it's definitely, you definitely can see a move like that for Brent Urban. But I gotta add 2 more guys, and I'm gonna stay on the offensive side of the ball. And I'm gonna get my reasoning. First one is gonna be Snoop, Tyler Huntley. I just feel like
I like that one.
Yeah, I knew we would be on the same page about that. I feel like we have to cut him this year. The reason I'm saying cut him this year because if Lamar Jackson does go down, I'm tired. I do not want to see Ravens Twitter go crazy and say, "Oh man, our savior Snoop is here." No, he's not the guy. He's not the guy. He's not the guy. In that playoff game last year, he showed he's not the guy. And honestly, with Todd Monken, we've seen what he's done with some of the non-most polished wide QBs with the Stetson Bennett's, the Baker Mayfields. He coached the GOAT, I believe, Tom Brady when he was.
I think he only coached Jameis.
30 for 30, Jameis.
I think it was the year before the 30 for 30 was his last year because I think Bruce Arians fired him.
Okay.
I think Bruce Arians kept him.
Okay. Then so he's between his NFL and college career, he hasn't had a big star named QB then. So but I feel like he's gonna have great fun with Lamar Jackson. I'm glad that him and Lamar have already connected. But I feel like Anthony Brown. Anthony Brown is a thrower of the ball. He's not that fast or electric when it comes to his running ability, but he can do enough as far as like play action and things of that nature. I feel like he will work to Todd. I feel like Todd Monken will work to the better of his strengths, and I'm not wishing for Lamar to get hurt. I'm knocking on wood now. But if but if Anthony Brown or either Josh Johnson would have to step in, I trust those guys more because they are better throwers of the ball. Now my last person would be, yeah, y'all may not like this name. I don't care. I'm staying on the offensive side of the ball. It's Mr. Patrick Pancake Ricard himself. The reason I'm saying that, they gave him too much money as a fullback. Even though I love my running backs, I do. But Patrick Ricard, with that 325 frame, lining up in the slot or in any type of wide receiver formation, it kind of bothers me. It bothers the hell out of me because he doesn't really got that. He doesn't got the hands. Also, he's a wasted part of the personnel. So I feel like if we can move to the Ben Mason, who can possibly be the Kyle Juszczyk, to this offense, I feel like that would better. I feel like he would be better suited for what Todd Monken is having in place. So those are my other two candidates for right now.
I'm all in on the Snoop one. So the idea with Patrick Ricard is we want to reduce the amount of fullback usage we have. What if we keep him? But we bring him back to the two-way, and we cut a guy like a Brent Urban and get Patrick Ricard back on the defensive line. Is that a possibility at all that we see Patrick Ricard return back to playing defense because the Ravens aren't going to use a fullback as much this year?
It comes down. I feel like it will come down to his ego if he really wants to, accept that two-way role. I mean, yeah, he did it before he got paid. We all know that, in the NFL and the NBA, precisely, guys are going to do what they have to do until they get their big contract. I mean,
yeah.
So it really comes down to ego and what he's willing to contribute to this team. So if he's willing to be on his Swiss Army knife, timing and contribute both ways, by all means, let's keep him on the team. But if not, let's do what we gotta do best for this team.
Yeah, that's definitely good. Do you have any other guys that you want to talk about, or is that pretty much it?
Do we send Jalen Armour Davis with your boy Amon Marshall?
Ooh.
That's the only other guy. I feel like Jordan Swan would beat out Jalen Armour Davis.
I think we keep Jalen Armour Davis more because I think he was drafted as a project, and Jordan Swan's a guy where if he gets cut, nobody's picking him up. Whereas an Alabama cornerback going into his second year, they're probably getting picked up by another team. They're going to get, not to use the term, but they're going to get swooped. Not to be confused with Snoop.
All right, man.